Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last episode, we just did case number 2 of the second game. It was a pretty decent case too, even though I didn't like the middle, but it is what it is. Episode 3, The Return of the Great Departed Soul.
19世紀末、大帝都ロンドンで開催された万国博覧会を知らぬ者はないだろう。
The Great Exhibition.
世界の文化、最新の科学技術がハイドパークの特設会場に集められた。来場者総数5000万人を超えた今世紀最後にして最大の祭典は、全世界の人々に強烈な印象を刻み込み、大成功のうちに終わったのだった。しかしその会期中に起きたあの大惨事の真相解明の裏側に、我が友シャーロック・ホームズの活躍があったことを知る者は少ない。彼はあの大事故の裏に幾重にも隠された真実を暴き出したのである。ハイドパークにそびえ立ったロンドン万国博覧会の象徴ともいえる
What the hell
あの
happened?
水晶島のごとき孤高にして凍結した名推理によって。
What the hell happened?
ロンドン万国博覧会、会場はあふれんばかりの人だかり。
I don't like where this is going, but there's a ton of flags.
晴天の下、驚異の科学実験が行われようとしています。
来るべき20世紀、蒸気機関と電気技術は世界を制する。馬車は姿を消し、自動車が行き交う。海を渡る船は羽を持ち、大空を飛ぶ。本日は皆様にさらに遠い未来の実験をお目にかけましょう。超電気式瞬間移動技術、世界で初めての実験であります。
Instantaneous kinesis machine.
人体を巨大な電気エネルギーで瞬時に分解して別の場所へ転送。そしてその組成情報を計算して元の姿に合成する驚くべき技術。
So like teleportation. This feels safe, I guess? I don't know.
これより一瞬の後、この紳士は驚くべき空間を超える旅をする。
Alright, let's see.
電気分解された紳士はあの水晶島に転送されるのです。こうしてよし。
It's going what? What just happened? 22nd of October, 9:36 a.m. Chom Suite. Oh, Luna, are you listening? Sorry, what was that, Iris? What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again? Oh, today's paper is full news of the Great Exhibition again. Yes, the Great Exhibition. I like to go sometime. You're really not your usual self today. You seem usually down. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh no, depression hurt Sholmes again? Did you say something, Iris? Oh gosh, you're even more down. Ah! When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? He wants to pick a fight with me. Okay. I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I, thought you might have known I was here. You know, because... breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much I didn't notice your presence. Thanks, I guess? I could deduce the reason perfectly well with a simple observations. Nani? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning is with all its unruly spikes. Clearly can be deduced, therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Shones, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact. It sounds so basic. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. Madame, at least Sholmes, you really helped out in that last case. I could praise you for that. The bottle of poison and everything like that. Crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. 6 months? Since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned. Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh, no. Oh, come on! Did you say something, Iris? Back to moping. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me. Usually I be so down in the dumps. I know, and the great exhibition has opened. You think he'd be excited? Oh, why don't we all go see it together? I want to, but of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it? I don't remember hearing you working on the case, Hurley. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. And before that, let us explore. As always. Every time I look at that machine, I can't help thinking what a monstrosity it is. What's it called again? The great analytics scope. It can analyze almost anything in it. It does seem incredible at the same time, incredibly useless. But it looks impressive, doesn't it? So that makes it useful. How does it make it useful? Because you can pawn it for lots of money. Well, that's a good way to make its use. The pawnbrokers always make idle remarks like, "What incredible looking machine." Ha. So Hurley often takes it to the pawn shop when he's a little short. Sounds like this thing pulls its weight around here more than I realized by having its weight pulled around. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. Miss Asada wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here, because she can't stand mess. Oh, Susie might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves. Oh, why not? Everything's in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Well, as always. Huh. Those books will always stand still, no matter what. Susie noticed that it was a very delicate arrangement from the outset. You make it sound like a meeting of great minds. But the truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. Ah yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous? Yes, it was a Stradivarius. I'm afraid you have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Uno. If I were to save up for 100 years, I wouldn't choose to buy a violin, personally. Oh, what would you buy then? I really have no idea. I think I'll have to do it so I can find out. What else is there? I do love some good fire in the colder months. Watching the flames flickering and dancing about is just so very relaxing. Cleaning at the chimney isn't so relaxing though. No, getting covered in soot is my idea of fun. You know, Hurley decided he was going to clean it out himself last year. But you can guess what happened, can't you? He got himself stuck inside the flue. He's a very slim man, I admit, but there are limits to where a fully grown man can fit. And every time he dozes off by the fire, he has nightmares about it. Ah yes, a huge metal chest and a lace cloth laid on it, being used as a table for tea and coffee. It's very sturdy, that's for sure, and firmly locked shut. That chest contains my father's detailed records of the Hurley's many cases. Yes, so I've been led to believe, though personally I've never actually seen inside. And that's the way it will stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. Go opening it uninvited, you might find yourself being bitten. Nani? Is there a beast inside there or something? It'll always be brought up. All these different pieces of evidence from cases from Mr. Sholmes are very interesting. The trouble is, Hurley forgets things so quickly, he never remembers why these things are relevant. The other day, for example, he saw the orange pips that were there and he decided to plant them in the garden. Pips? Yes, they all sprouted now, and now we have 5 new little plants. Oh, well, I don't know what case they were from, but if Mr. Sholmes can get oranges to grow outside in England, he should change his profession. Okay. Ah yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today, The blue carbuncle? Yes, it's from a case from a theft that Hurley solved ages ago, the theft of our precious stone. Our carbuncle is a name for garnet, you see, especially if it's cut with a rounded top. Oh really? This garnet was blue, was it? Well, the thing is, they're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered. Oh. So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case. Proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day. Ah, well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time, so it's never the same twice. When you call it a concoction, it sounds like more like a science experiment than something for tea time. Oh yes, it's because it's different blends that can have different properties. Some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. And today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat. That sounds ominous. There's so many different bottles up there on that charming little set of white shelves. Oh, do be careful, Runo. You mustn't try the contents of any of those bottles even if you're hungry. I wouldn't do something stupid like that. I'm not a child, you know. Well, I wish I could say the same for Hurley. The other day, he polished off a full bottle of one of my alkaloids. He what? He said he was hungry. I'll be extra careful. I can type with my eyes shut, you know. I can believe it. When a deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun. That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake. That's incredible. But then, when I got light, I found out that there wasn't any paper in the machine. Pepe hens! I wonder if I actually been typing at all. I think you might be just been falling asleep on the job. There we go. Now that all that aside, let us talk to Sholmes. Spent 6 months ago. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard in the at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much far-reaching plot that involved the British government. Morse code. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. is it? In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study. That's what I've been doing. You have, haven't you, Runo? Reading out all those big fat tomes about Britain law up in your room, and the notes about Shom's old cases, Pepe hens. Because we perjuried court. Brewing Iris a special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You become something of a manservant around here, starting the silverware next, Miss Master Naruhodo. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider, specifically Lord Stronger at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall, with Lord Stananghart. Delightful Lord Chief Justice, not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working the courts again. I came to Britain to become the less lawyer I could. I can't do that sitting around here. The whole London has been swept up in this great exhibition now, is it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of arts and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things and the world will be watching. Do you know what I like to do? I like to look down London from one of those lovely balloons. Look down on, do you mean those things? Fly? Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air. But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. Can't understand it at all. That's true about a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge. I suppose they might be. Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong in the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are. I thought they were supposed to break out, not be a scam, says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article about the great expedition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. Great exhibition newspaper. Shadows cast behind, is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Let me see this. Every article from the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, culture exhibits around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We have to go all see it properly before too long. What's the other one? So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there, other than this rather looking gloomy one, that is. Wait, what? What's the matter, Luno? Reaper attacked. The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Von Zeeks. It's me what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? Unfortunately, that's all we can really get out of it, sadly. Lord Von Zeeks. Are you investigating a particular quirky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. You're acting very stingy, Hurley. What do you mean, Iris? Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated the case is, the better Hurley's mood. Oh. Is it a really case that's bothering you? Iris, please! We shall exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction without invitation. Remember what I always say, put yourself on the shoes of the individual about whom you're referring to making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes. Never mind, I once had a cup of tea. I must make my way at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. The Reaper attacked. It says in the paper that Lord Von Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. Oh, you know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes, Prosecutor Baron von Zeeks. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty, once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. Yeah. London's finest rogues always has find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. Even such devious tactics cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. The leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper. Retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital's never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Von Zeeks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? Well, he's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. Doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness, is he alright then? Is Lord Von Zeeks hurt? My dear fellow, how can on earth would I know? Well, in the article here it says, as to what Lord Von Zeeks is in his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition. I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait till tomorrow. In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Is that our only way? Oh, well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? Seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? You will be wasting your time. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but now I'm wondering where you are going. Well then, see you later indeed. Listen to him, he's still laughing on his way out of the door. Well, what the fuck? Alright then, Uno, let's get going. Oh, Iris? What the hell are you wearing? I got the chain to the great exhibition. You're gonna take me. But what, I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then? Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you? Please? Who's that Supreme Court? Then we'll go to the great exhibition. Alright, boys. Looks like we got ourselves to go to the Lord Chief Justice's office. Ah, yes. Been a while since we've been here. Lord Strongheart. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But something's never changed, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there. Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here. Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. And Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. I understand you wish to speak with me. Menacing Lord Strongheart. Oh, Lord Strongheart, I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been about 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting for a while. My apologies. Oh, no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. My bad. Mael Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, and dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own homeland. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As we're in the hosting nation, I have much to do. Interesting. It is my highest priority. If others may wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course. I can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. To be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens. I don't know. Just take a deep breath and come out with it. And before we do that, we got ourselves Area. You couldn't read all these books even if you were reincarnated 3 times over as a book. I reincarnated as a ascending book librarian. Oh, I know. So much reading material. I'm so envious. I really been running out of things to read recently. Because you read so fast. Perhaps little by little I could swap some of the books here with some of mine from home. I don't see why not. No one would notice, or at least I wouldn't, even if I was reincarnated 3 times over as a librarian. Did they purposely make that meme because of the anime? The cogs of the giant clock are keeping time as usual with their steady, rhythmical motion. It's really quite disturbing how little sound they make considering their massive size. Someone very brilliant must design it, and whoever maintains it must be very talented. But I'm not entirely convinced it's even a clock. Nani? But what about the huge clock face that forms the window over here? Some people just make machines that move on for the fun of it, because they enjoy watching them. But I like how Hurley makes his rambling deductions just for the fun of it. Even if the outcome isn't quite right. Never mind at all the trouble it gets from others into along the way. Oh, I've just had a great idea. What is it? We could hide inside one of these suits of armor and spy on the fob Watchmaster to find out what he's really like. You mean Fob Master? I'm just kidding. I don't have much interest in what Lord Strongheart is really like, though. Oh, please, it would be fun. You could be inside the left one and I'll go inside the right. Really want to have a go at a suit of armor, don't you? Now you're making fun of me because I'm a child, aren't you? I wasn't making fun of you at all. I just like to have a go, too. Lord Chief does suggest when you look at that, there's no mistaking that Lord Strongheart authority is there. But the light from that window behind is far too bright. It would be very bad for the eyes. I hadn't thought of that. There's no curtains, that's for sure. What's more important is having a desk with an air of authority or having eyes at work. I can't say I've ever considered it. After all, my little office barely has any light to speak of, and I haven't seen my desk in a while. Okay, is that it? No, I didn't mean to do that. No, no. Okay. Is there anything here? The cogs of destiny shall look upon you. Anyway. Let's talk to Lord Strongheart. Alright, permission to work. I actually came here today to ask you for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, I maybe understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, here it comes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. God damn it! Damn, Kazuma. Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He's so determined to bring change to our justice system at home. That was his calling. That tragic accident happened again? That didn't happen? I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Tosogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling, huh? Sorry? The mission at which the young law student was charged, what do you suppose it really was? What do you mean, mission? He's not making any sense. True calling? Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions, obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? Are we gonna get? As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice laws here in Great Japan. Whoa! The 6-month wait has paid off. Well, not really. It was more of a punishment. But yeah, we got to be a lawyer again. Thank you so much. That's wonderful, Udazuno. In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope? Of course, please tell me more. A curious affair? You described it as a curious affair? Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no? So it really was an accident. Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. But let me see. It was how it was described. Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think. Instantaneous kinesis. As in moving things with a click of the fingers? Oh, that's right. It's what brought my herbal blends need a dash of devil-may-care. Well, whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly it captured Iris's imagination. It's unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asbin, an inventor and well-known figure in society. A large explosion. A man died. And the man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow. Let me guess. We're gonna be his client on the charge of murder. Well, we got ourselves a murder case. Nani? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There's very little time for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition, a scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder? I feel out my depth before I even started. Still, I should go to the prison straight away then, and then try to meet with the German professor, don't you think? Definitely. Yes, one more thing about the case. There's a connection with our natural mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, with Lord Von Zeeks? How? All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the great expedition. And next month, the largest, most important of them all will all take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. That is such a long name. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate, so it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly, the future of policing. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly, it's extremely alarming. If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the number of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I should detail everyone now. Nani? Oh, how fascinating. It all began 15 years ago. I was... You're not... Huh? Huh? Wait, what? Wait, huh? What's with the blur? The fuck? What's with the blur? And more that less sums up my feelings on the... What the hell was that? In the simplest terms, of course. What the hell was that? Wow. They're not even gonna tell us. God damn this game. How dare they? They do this to me right away. I'm so sad right now. Oh well. Essentially, to formally establish the Forensics Investigation Division within Scotland Yard, that is my mission. Oh, right. Yes, that's wonderful. Exactly, wonderful is precisely what it will be. The hell, Iris? Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful? I actually drifted off for the most part. He's actually surprisingly ardent for about forensic science. Well, I think that's our cue to leave, I guess, right? Unless, like... Oh yeah, we need to ask him what happened to Von Zeeks. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? Reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. Oh, what story? The Reaper attacked. That. You enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not? We beat him about 4 times in court. Yeah, 4 times, I would say. If I were to face him again, maybe a 5th time, perhaps. Have you not? Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he? There's no need for concern. Lord Von Zeeks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Fortunately, Lord Von Zeeks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know? We don't know. It's related to the events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one's capital criminal organization was indicted and prosecuted by Lord Von Zeeks. The man was acquitted. I have no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seemed. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman. Asman? Mr. Odious Asman? Did you say Asman? That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition. Yes, publicly known as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Well, that is a very big amount of info, I know. So this is actually considered a huge deal. Unbelievable. I wonder, could I ask you for something, Lord Strongheart? Try me. Why do you use Lord Von Zeeks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Von Zeeks first. I know there's no evidence that he's actually the Reaper in that sense, but still, there's something that's clearly going on here. I have Lord Von Zeeks' prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. Secondly, any deaths of the criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. But that doesn't make any sense. How can you explain the way they have so many have died, if not by someone's hand? Lord Von Zeeks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he's no killer. He will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, he'll always compete with me in court. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 60 minutes late. You calculated that long. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's quite something. That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stops for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find... Oh yes, where I find Lord Von Zeeks now. Where the hell is he? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrain's defense entirely in your hands. Looks like we're defending Harebrain, I guess. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Looks like we got ourselves a situation. As we are probably gonna go to the prosecutor's office. You know what? Let's go. Let's meet Lord Von Zeeks. That's a interesting prosecutor. It reminds me of the office Gant had in Phoenix Wright, Case 5. Oh, this is something of the legendary Leaper's office. Yes, it appears so. Brr. It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What amazingly deathly atmosphere. Oh, is that? Who is that? That hooded figure was so still, I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. What are you doing here? Von Zeeks! We actually get to see him in, like, this perspective. He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. Oh, I love to do Von Zeeks' voice. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh? That's my apprentice. He's sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Yeah, it does seem like that. He's been very able in combat. A rare requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Well... Can we examine stuff? I might as well. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices. Bottles neatly lined up there. My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world. And yet you throw them around in a court like they're worthless. Yes, because this imbecile is unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes. Oh. Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. So, it's my fault? Silly me. How could I ever have thought otherwise? What else is there? Lord Von Zeke's desk. Look, it's so stylish. And that a marble chess set beside it. Chess. That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems. Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case. I'd love to challenge Lord Von Zeke sometime. To a bout of shogi problems. If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own home. Okay. This desk is pretty unique, honestly. You even get a big, bright view. What's this? Oh, look! It's a scale model of the Great Exhibit Showground. Huh, that is a huge model. It's amazing. I wonder why it's here. Perhaps it's made to take his mind up the sadness of being too busy to attend in person. Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Oh, surely it's obvious I'm using it as an investigative aid. You Nipponis have no business painting others as overly reserved. Well, we're already starting off racist, are we? I really didn't think he overheard that. What's that? That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Von Zeke's facial features. Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think. Ah, that reminds me. Heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. How vain. That's not really an attack to quality in person, is it? That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? No, he doesn't want to tell us? Oh no. God dang it, I'm sneezing. What are those bats? Oh, Jesus! Ah, they were bats! Ah, yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect. What about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. And not just the flying kind. Well, he must be a dear friend of the Mr. Reaper, then. I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though, either way. Is that a bunch of wine? Ancient casks? Look at all those ancient cats lining the wall here. Oh, casks in the Reaper's chamber. Or are they caskets? You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them. Dead, do you? Surely there wouldn't be like this many? Like over 20 dead bodies inside? What ridiculous notion is going through your head? This is my collection of fine vintages. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up. Lunu and I were using her to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper. I wouldn't if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot. Alright, can I talk this? It really looks like a punishment to me. I've never seen someone sitting like that before. He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead? If he was dead, Luno, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he? Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us. He's not dead. Is it just me, or is he sitting like the Japanese way? Or this person? Nah, I'm probably overthinking it. Can't really think too much on it. Wait. Is that a thing? No. Alright, just talk to him. Last night's attack. Lord Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack? True, carried out by the henchmen of Odie Osmond's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent, presumably. Some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odie Osmond? He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities. And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper. But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual cause of death. I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asmund died when the demonstration on the public experiment stage ended with an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you? Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least. Saying how this has worked out, isn't it, Uno? I mean, with you taking on the Professor's defense for the child tomorrow. What? You're going to be defending him? I have to fight you in again in court? Oh yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert Harebrained. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at a university together. Your... Nani? Your contemporary? I understood that Professor Harebrained was from Germany, though. Harebrained's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all. So you were students together. I was in fact faculty of law, of course, and in science. So our paths rarely cross. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form, and with you of all people representing him. Only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know, because the prosecution will be handled by me. But by you? But you made it sound like if you and the professor had been friends. We are friends, it's true. It's like Edgeworth. We may be friends with Edward, but we're not actually friends. But why would you do this? If the Reaper's the prosecutor, there's nothing else anyone can do to save him. He's doomed. What's Lord Von Zeke's thinking? The Reaper's identity. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean? I am a crown prosecutor, and I'm mortal like any other. I'm no demigod. They've all died, haven't they? The people you prosecute, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or acquittal. Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsumi, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all. Nor was Ginny, in fact. She was ever so hardworking now. Yeah, those two are kinda innocent, if we remember correctly. I can't deny that ever since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this, a paradigm shift. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind, and it's not my work. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way, but you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true. The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. Oh. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say? I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed. Exactly. If that is my fate, let God decide. Damn. Let God decide our fates. That's literally a phrase I hear every time when I play games like this. Lord Von Zeeks. Alright. I believe... Oh, wait. There's something Oh, wait. I want to present this, that you were featured. Lord Von Zeeks, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes, it seems that there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me. It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you in Laredo. Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's something else fighting alongside you, it seems. This person. And I think it's that same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? No. Do we? He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose. Like you are to Hurley then, Runo. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with the great detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It looks as if he's wearing some kind of mask. On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. Why would he agree on taking such a clearly suspicious individual? Because Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless foilies. There will be a good reason for his actions. Hope you're right. Well, that's all we can do for now, I guess. Huh. The light in his eyes. The task is complete? Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs. Not gonna talk. Nice to meet you. This is kind of awkward right now. Back to work again, but that was a glaring stare, I guess. That was really strange, though. I never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed. I didn't even know he... And yet, somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Oh no, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to. The way he stood there so casually and yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. Huh? I'm so confused right now. Couldn't be. What do you mean? Alright. Ah, yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago with the stoop, and the mustache and the jitters. Yes, Natsumi. Ah, Mr. Natsumi, you mean? I'm not sure to be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Uno. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice and thank you for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Saseki-san. After a Nipponese. Well, I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. Oh, I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books. Mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Harebrain? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Von Zeeks, I think. And it does seem like we have, got bail of time, so next time on Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I'll be continuing the investigation, and we're likely gonna go to the prison next. That's our next destination. I guess I'll see you guys all next time.